Welcome back to this week's Inside the Idaho Vandals. I'm Dennis Patch, and now football, as we all know, is in full gear. In fact, we're getting ready to hit the halfway point of the season. Well, that means basketball is just around the corner. Both the men and women are underway with their practices, getting ready for their season opener in just a little more than a month. Joey Jenkins took a look at both squads as they begin the preparation for what both teams are hoping is a banner season.
It was just 7 months ago when the Vandal women's basketball team were crowned WAC champions and made the cross-country trip to Connecticut for the NCAA tournament. And as the Vandals yet again get ready for another season, making a return trip to the big dance is on the forefront of their minds.
Now that we know we've done it, we've been there, we've played in that atmosphere, we're like hungry for it again. I mean, we're ready to go. That's all we've been talking about is getting another WAC championship.
Luckily for head coach John Newley and the rest of the Idaho Vandals, there's a lot of familiar names and faces that helped bring the team to the tournament last year that are returning for another season, including junior guard Stacy Barr, who we know will have a big impact on this squad.
I mean, I feel like the expectation was there for us as a group last year. Like, that was definitely what we expected. We wanted to be up there with the best, and, we achieved that. So that expectation is there again this year.
The Vandals will have to wait a while before they start their season as defending WAC champions, but it'll all start in Spokane as the Vandals take on Gonzaga November 8th.
While it may be easy to recognize the faces on the women's basketball team, the men's team this year may be a different story.
Head coach Don Verlin has brought in 9 new players to this 2013 squad, and only 4 players remain from last year's team. One of those players being senior forward Steven Madison, who says it's his time to step up on and off the court.
Be the 4-year guy. There's only 4 of us returning, and I'm one of the older guys. So with these new guys, I just try to point them in the right direction and keep them positive and just a lot of energy.
Madison says it's up to him and the rest of the returners to help get the lowerclassmen ready to play.
I need to bring my production on the court, but as a vocal leader and as a veteran of this team, I need to bring the team along also. So it's not just points or rebounds, it's also being a leader.
Coach Verlin has high expectations for his new team and says that with all the new players, it will take time.
And there's a lot more to go. So I just think, they just got to continue to learn, continue to take in all the information, and probably more important than anything, I have to be patient.
The Vandals will open up the season with an exhibition game against Walla Walla University on November the 5th. For Inside the Vandals, this is Joey Jenkins.
Thanks, Joey. Now, coming up next week, women's coach John Newley will be here to preview their upcoming season. And in 2 weeks, Idaho men's coach Don Verlin will join us, and we'll take a look at the brand new Idaho Vandal team. A lot of new faces, as Joey said, on this year's team. Now, tennis has 2 seasons, team competition in the spring, but individual competition in the fall. They're getting close to wrapping up their season. Abid Akbar with more on the Idaho tennis team.
After one of the best seasons in Idaho history, men's tennis lost the top half of its lineup. Idaho was able to recruit 3 transfers in hopes of filling the void. Looking at recent results, the team looks promising.
We definitely lost a lot of talent, guys that had been nationally ranked, put in a lot of wins. From practice, from the first tournament, I definitely, the 2 new guys had some really big results in Napa. It's tough to replace what we lost.
Voted Western Athletic Conference Coach of the Year in 2012, Coach Beeman and his team have high expectations for the upcoming season.
Yeah, really confident. I feel like the team is really strong this year, and I'm so excited about next year, and I want to do great, make a final, win the conference with my new team.
Andrew Zeddy won his singles bracket at the Eastern Washington University Fall Tournament.
Well, I think it should be every team's goal to try and win their conference. I think, that's the biggest tournament of the year. So I think, that should be the main goal of the team to do well there.
Returning senior Jose Bendek won the last 2 fall tournaments at Eastern Washington and Boise State.
I think this is the year we have more chances. Last 2 years we were very, very close to it. And this year I think we're ready for it.
This lineup could be the first to win the Western Athletic Conference title in school history.
I definitely feel we're a favorite. If we can stay healthy, we should be in the conference final, and I think we have a great shot to win it.
Men's tennis will end the fall season by competing in regionals in Las Vegas at the end of October. This is Abid Akbar for Inside the Vandals.
Thanks, Abid. We'll look forward to the spring season. That'll be just around the corner. Now, time now for Campus Connection, where we take you inside the University of Idaho. This past weekend, it was Ag Days here, and the football team not the only one recruiting. Lauren Sanders takes a look at how the University of Idaho Ag Department encourages future Vandals to come here.
If you could be a cow, what kind of cow would you want to be? Generally, this kind of question would get a blank stare. But not at Ag Days.
Certain breeds of cattle where they treat them extremely well and they feed them all this great feed, and then they're treated, they get massages, and they're loved on really well. And I would honestly love to be one of those cows.
For the past 35 years, the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences has brought the future and present of Idaho agriculture together to show students what the college has to offer.
By working with the high school students as they learn about different career paths and participate in contests that are interesting to them, and also learn about what it's like to be a Vandal.
Ag Days not only teaches workshops, it gives future students a chance to be hands-on.
And it's always good to see students come out of a workshop or something that you've put on and helped put together with skills that they can use later in life, and going out of that area with more energy and more enthusiasm to participate in more activities later on in the year.
This hands-on approach has encouraged many students to choose Idaho over other colleges. The University of Idaho is hoping that Ag Days continues to attract premier students to one of the top agriculture programs in the state.
Making sure that the students that came up here not only fell in love with the college that we go to, but also fell in love with a passion that we all have as state officers, which is agriculture. And kind of just making sure that they felt like they were comfortable here and they were welcomed here with open arms and that they had a good time.
So I'll ask you again, if you could be a cow, what kind of cow would you want to be?
Thanks, Lauren. Well, that's going to do it for this week's Inside the Idaho Vandals. When we come back next week, we'll take a look back at the Arkansas State game. And again, John Newley will join us as we preview the defending WAC champion women's basketball team as they get ready for what they hope is 2 in a row. Hope to see you next week right here on another edition of Inside the Idaho Vandals.